German Works Council system is quite unique in the world, and many of my clients complain about their dealings with the Works Council. They consider it as a daily, almost horrible task to deal with the Works Council, and they find it extremely difficult to get to results. I think many employers deserve the Works Council. They have grown over time, and if they would abide by certain principles, actually 5 principles, they would do much better. The first principle, I think, is you need to at least motivate your Works Council to think economically. Even though it's not engraved in the law, the Works Council needs to understand what are the framework you are working in, what are your business goals, what are your constraints, and what are the conditions you as a company work under. And if you, for example, would not tell your Works Council, say, a deterioration of your business model over time and then come up with a restructuring plan afterwards, they, of course, take it as a surprise and they are not willing to embrace the change. So it makes sense to keep them abreast of any economical change or conditions, and that's number 1. Number 2 is do not involve the Works Council if it's not established by law. There is no rule that says that the Works Council is a co-manager. And for example, you don't need to involve the Works Council, as many companies do, when approving new employment contracts. On the other hand, the flip side of the coin is do involve the Works Council when it is required. Don't take any shortcuts. It will come back to you and will probably hurt you badly. Rule number 3, the better the employee relations, the fewer problems you will probably have in labor relations. That means you need to talk to the employees, to the workforce on a regular basis. Very often I see clients that have left the whole communication to the employees to the Works Council, which means that there is a vacuum because the workforce will only hear from the employee side, from the Works Council, what is meant by a new strategy. And on the other hand, the Works Council only receives complaints from the workforce and will be more or less the funnel for all complaints. So rule number 3 is invest in employee relations like the Americans do, then you will have fewer problems with your Works Councils. Rule number 4, try not to make any deals. There is a tendency, because so many projects are often on the table, that you strike a deal with the Works Council, which will often hurt you afterwards, because at a certain point in time you don't know anymore why you have given something over the table to the Works Council in return for a favor. So try to separate projects and make sure that they are seen and negotiated on a separate agenda. And rule number 5, my last rule, is good labor relations, meaning in Germany, good relations to the Works Council is a competitive factor. That's pretty much like in the US, where you have either a unionized workforce and then you should have good relationship with the union or not. Same here in Europe. Try to have a good partner and then you will do better financially and economically. By abiding by all these principles, I think in general you can do much better with dealing with Works Councils.